Morgan,
Hey, baby.
I'm trying to think that someone was against us today because the tech was not teching.
It was not teching at all. It like everybody, and it's like my nemesis today. I kid you not. Wi-Fi wasn't working.
It's so funny. Nothing. The Chrome, nothing's working. Girl, but you know what? Anyone who happens to be listening, our replay viewers, thank you, shout you out. Listen, today is worth it. The
Yes.
reason why we worked so hard to make sure we could get this recording done for you, despite all the odds, was because it is super important on this first Monday of 2025.
Can you believe that?
Ooh.
25. It's
Listen,
still
so tune into this one, okay? Call a girlfriend and let her know that if she's a midlife mama, she needs to be a part of this one, all right? We'll see you in just a second. All right, so Morgan, listen. Thanks for hanging out. It's like sometimes it's not working the way you want it to work, but thank you for being here. Of course, I am the Princess of Positivity. I'm Chatone Morrison, and that's my girl right there.
I'm Morganne Bustos.
We are getting to after. We are all about helping midlife mamas to overcome obstacles, to release stress and trauma, and have a safe place to land. We are always here on Monday mornings at 8 a.m., but whenever you decide to tune in, you are welcome to be right with us. How you doing, girl?
Honey, I'm good. Today, the technical thing, that was kind of stressing me out just a tad. Just a tad. Like I started to get that twitch in my eye. But besides that, I am always happy to be here. I'm happy to have this encounter with you, baby.
It's so good. It's so good. So listen, y'all, we're going to jump right in because we got so much for you. Want to tell you right now, just again, if you are like, I don't know what this tapping thing is all about. I don't know what this emotional freedom technique is all about. I want to make sure you know that you want to tune in and just show up and tap along with us. It will make a difference for you. It will absolutely make a difference. So today, we're going to be talking about making space for yourself in 2025. It's so important. We all know it. We hear about self-care all the time. We hear about me first all the time. But the truth of the matter is, it is a very difficult thing to pencil in. And at the beginning of the year, when you're grading your vision board and your goals and your mission statement, we want to make sure you create space for YOU all year long. And we're going to be coming back to this theme, right, Morgan? Because it's so important that we don't forget this.
Well, and making sure you're scheduling time for it. Because if you don't, it's not going to happen because life happens, kids happen, husbands happen, just everything. So it's really important to just be like,
Do that sound again?
Oh,
okay. That's what I thought I heard. So first things first, we cannot meet without talking about this. For those of you who may not know us, this may be your first time kind of tuning in. Morgan and I are very, very close. You may often hear her call me mama. I am not her mother. I did not give birth to her, okay? We are not going to take that away from Ms. Matthews at all. But the bottom line is that our relationship is that close. And one of the things that you may not be aware of is that our connection didn't stem from, but includes some dark things. And that includes, Morgan having a story of domestic violence in her life. And if you have not had an opportunity to tune into our first series talking about her story, I will put the link in so that you can definitely take a peek at that. And if you know someone who needs it, nudge them, right? Nudge them to take a look. In her story, she'll talk about the fact that sometimes at the end of the year when there's so much stress, whether you may celebrate holidays or not, there's a lot of extra stress, or sometimes there's a lot of extra family time, and it causes that stress in the family, and sometimes domestic violence escalates.
it does. And everybody that did get a chance to look at the story, they understand that over Thanksgiving and winter break and then New Year's is extremely hard for us. And that's why we went down to see you last month, was to create new memories over Thanksgiving break, right, for the kids. And then coming into the winter, over winter break, it's really a struggle, right? Because that was when we spent so much time together because he wasn't working. So he was home more. So the abuse intensified. But then also coming up 10 days, Chatone. In 10 days, it will be 3 years since the murder suicide. And so, what people don't understand is that your muscle memory and your cellular memory is fully aware of what's going on, even if you don't recall the dates or the time frame or anything like that. So, we'll just say this last solid month has been quite a bit for the children and I. And just like having all these things coming back to mind and or being agitated or scared or irritated and not knowing why or how for myself, let alone helping the kids, has been quite a struggle. And that's where I just keep coming back to, like, the matter of prayer and journaling and the tapping and conversations with
Yeah.
your therapist, conversations with people that a good friend is so, so important to be able to have that communication so you have a safe place to go to. So you had brought up that over the wintertime it is harder because of the holidays. And so when you're in a situation like that, a lot of times you're forced to be with the family, you're forced to be with the abuser. And so it can cause, there's like this time of year, it just causes more abuse. It really does. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of, course, loneliness, sadness, because of possibly having to walk away from situations like that, or even missing the people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whatever or the idea of the person can be really a struggle.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate like what does that mean? The limiting beliefs workbook that we had created.
Yes. 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 Let me put the link up to that real quick,
Thank you.
because it's a really good one.
Yeah. So I had one of my friends that I was coaching. She reached out to me the other day, and it was interesting because between that and the series, girl, do you remember the series that we did where I was talking about gaslighting?
Yes.
Okay, so that's specifically what she reached out to me about. And she said, she's like, Mo, I just watched that. And I just
Mm.
want to say thank you because I did not understand that this is what I was going through. She says, this has been happening for years and years and years. And she got into a car accident a while ago. And when that happened, I understand her because that happened to me too, but it affected her brain. It affected the
Mm.
way she processes information and understands things. So then he was using that as a tool to manipulate and gaslight her and control her and making her feel bad about the truth. The truth of the
Yeah.
matter is things aren't on the up and up, right? But then he was saying things like, well, obviously you don't remember. Obviously this brain
Yeah.
injury of
See.
things like that. So when she called me, thank you so much. She goes, I thought I was going crazy. I
Yeah.
thought I was going crazy until I heard that episode. So the whole reason why I'm saying this to you is, well, let me speak to you for a second, Chatone. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me through this and giving me a safe place to be to express my story. Because when she said that she was so grateful that we did that series, because it gave her a whole different way to see
But
things.
she understands that it's not. It's a very interesting part of abuse, the gaslighting,
Yeah,
because it makes you think that nothing's real.
yeah.
We live in a VR world. Everyone wants to put big glasses on and live in something else, but you take them off at your control. But when someone
Mm,
keeps putting them on you and putting them on you and you can't take them off, it's like, what really is reality?
mm,
We're made to live in reality with our feet firmly on the ground. And when
mm,
we can't do that, grounding cannot take place. You know,
mm,
it's one of the things that I'm so grateful that you were brave to do the series, you know what I'm saying? And just so everyone know, we'll be talking more about that. We're going to be giving some additional insights, different things, but we definitely want to touch on that today because of the triggers, but go ahead and finish, babe.
Oh no, just that I was she was saying how grateful she was because she finally was able to realize what he had been doing all along. But until somebody brought it to her attention and used certain verbiage, she just thought it was all her. And the thing is when people are that good at manipulating you and they have that narcissistic personality and they can smooth talk and they can use their words so well, you really do think it's you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not perfect, so like sometimes you are
Wait,
going to have
wait, is it?
not even
Yeah.
that. But the thing is when they are that good in a matter of minutes, Tone, they can have you completely like questioning yourself. And it's like, did I do that? Maybe I did say something. Maybe I did do something. Did I not put the dishes away?
I know.
It's crazy. So I'm very grateful that between her and so many other women that have been reaching out to us through the
Yeah.
podcast and emails and et cetera, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera, this is helping. And that's
Yeah.
all we need, is to raise voice to this issue, so that if there's women out there that need help, they know they can come to us and we can direct them in which way to go to heal.
And
You know?
sometimes it's funny because, and that's good. That talks back to our theme for today, because part of creating space is not just take a bath, do your skincare. Like those are almost, to me, those are non-negotiables. I mean,
Mm,
taking a bath, if you happen to have a tub in your house, and if you don't, find a friend who has one, okay? Like that's a non-negotiable. Getting your feet done may be a luxury, but every once in a while, yourself soaking your feet, doing your toes, that's a non-negotiable as a
mm,
woman. These are
mm,
things that you just need, right?
mm,
But what we're talking about is creating space is bigger than that. It's bigger
mm.
than those kind of surface things. And one of them may be getting the therapy. One of them may be finding out how to tap. One of them may be tuning into a podcast where people see you,
Mm.
where people are willing to listen to you. That is creating space. And the reason why I say this is because it's not easy. We all have lists of podcasts we want to watch and see, and we got books we're going to read. Trust me, on the side of my bed at any given time, that's 1,400 books. Okay. Like there are books, there's books on my desk, there's books on the side of the bed. I bought one yesterday. Like
Yeah.
I may not finish them all, but there's going to be some highlights, there's going to be some points, there's going to be something, because I know there's something in there for me. That's a
Mm.
part of you creating space. So we're gonna do some tapping on that today. How you can do that? How can you release guilt around it? How can you find ways of doing it? But thank you for sharing that, Morgan, because one of the things is that when you're willing to create space for yourself, even if that space just means I'm willing to see reality for
Mm.
this few minutes so that I can see what's real and know that I can take care of myself, it is so empowering. And
Yeah.
the reason why I started coaching way back, my goodness, I started coaching in 2008. 2000, 2008, that's crazy. The reason why is because I wanted to empower women. And I've done it in all different types of ways. And I know that you're about to finish up all your coaching certifications as well. But the thing about it is empowering women is more than those like surface things. We are deep. We have deep things to do. And a lot of people are doing all their resolutions and all this stuff. I think resolutions are a whole crack. Okay. In a couple weeks, we're going to be talking about why New Year, New You is a whole myth. It's a whole myth. Okay. It ain't true. So the new you, the old you is just fine. So stop playing. But being willing to create space, one of the things that I feel it's interesting is that we will work beyond what we can work. We'll work
Mm.
beyond the breaking point. We'll keep going. Look, I confess. We will move beyond what we can do. We'll just say, well, I just got to keep going. And we're going to be talking about that theme a lot because mental health is involved. And if we do not have our mental health, it affects the whole body.
Mm.
Usually the last thing that we know is going on is something very serious. And so we cannot go through that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you've had that as well.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like self-care actually can be kind of hard in that sense?
It, yes.
Like, think about it. Let's like explore that for a second. There's so many emotional blockages to that too, especially like for me personally, around the word no. Like what? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Why is self-care feel so hard?
Let me go ahead and just put that in for you.
Because seriously, like I feel so guilty when I have to say no about things. Perfect example, like this weekend, there was so much going on with my oldest son being able to get, he's
And they were good things.
amazing, like got a new car and then is moving out into his own place, which is a little sad and scary, but I have to let go. But then and then got his puppy back. So there's so many good things. But within that, it's taking a lot out of mommy because I'm trying to have to shift and pivot very quickly to make all these things happen to accommodate. And so the word no, baby, I can't. I should have used quite a few times with that, but not because I don't want to. That's not it.
No.
And all the other things that are coming at me with the other kids, and then with my spiritual goals, and then with life, and then the house and the dogs, and then you know what I mean.
And somewhere in there, you gotta pee. I mean, like sometimes I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna bring it all the way down, and let's keep it real. Women will hold. We will hold those. We hold it. Start doing that in 2025. Make space for pee. Okay, like let's not hold it any longer. I'm talking to the choir. Like, please tell your neighbor, go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom. Drink some water and then go pee. Like, it's legit, but we do.
Sometimes that's what we do, and it's so not good. And we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the way that we're not going to the bathroom the way we should. We're going to talk about it here. Because what we're going to get after, we're going to get after some urination, okay?
Sorry. I'm laughing so hard. I'm laughing so hard because of this. And just work with me for 2 seconds. So there's the dog pads for Tavares' dog were in the garage. And Sequoia's like, why do you have Depends? And me being me, I was like, in case I can't make it to the bathroom, right? And she goes, you do hold it way too long. Like, right? And I was laughing because I'm like, Sequoia, I was joking, you know? The point is, it's okay to take time to yourself, even to go to the bathroom, okay? Because you deserve it. You deserve to go pee.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm just speaking as the oldest of the midlife women. Okay, most likely they're watching. I know we have some more mature, some more seasoned women who watch this. Here's the bottom line: the pee that you look. I'm gonna say pee. I know that's rude. The way that you don't take care of yourself in the bathroom in your 30s and early 40s, I am here to tell you, it is going to bite you in the backside in your 50s. Because what you're able to do, look, this is for a whole nother episode. What you're able to do in your late 30s and 40s, waiting to go to the bathroom, all that, in your 50s, your body said, oh no, she did it. You start doing that big laughter. Ha, 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 oops, I gotta run. It's not gonna work. Okay. This is how deep this is, and we're making light of it. But the truth is, there are some of us who, because of, like, if it means that in your schedule you have to say every 2 hours, I'm just like when your kids were small. Every couple hours, you're like, baby, go to the bathroom.
That's a great.
We never allowed that. Now, it was because they were still learning. But sometimes we do the same thing with ourselves. You find yourself, I would challenge anyone who watches this, any midlife mama, how many times are you actually going to the bathroom in a day? It is an act of self-care. And I am saying it when I tell you, because I get in this office and I get deep in creation, and I am not going upstairs to the bathroom. Now, the worst part is there's a bathroom 10 feet from my office, but it's my mother-in-law's bathroom. And so I really try to honor her, but this is her space down here and this is my office. I try and honor her by not using her bathroom. Like, that's her bathroom. That's her space. I mean, it's my house, but the bottom line is her bathroom. But there are times when you've seen me running out this room, like, I'll be right back in 1 second. Like,
well, what do you think is going to happen if we actually do take care of ourselves? Like, what do you think subconsciously, like, is going on? Is that more attached to more guilt?
I think it is attached to all the things we think we have to get done. You know, it's all the things we think we have to get done. And I'll say for myself that, you know, we have to think about, if we decide to do this, if we decide in 2025, it's going to be my year. Like, I'm challenging a lot of my clients right now, that what is that one thing that you haven't done that you know you need to get done? And what will happen if you just, like, even if it doesn't happen, like, even if it doesn't work, even if it doesn't, like, so, like, put it on the vision board, like, so, like, what if it doesn't happen? And releasing the guilt, which we'll be talking about in the tapping transformation today. What would happen if you release the guilt around that? So let's talk about that for a second, right? Release the guilt. You know, one of the ways that EFT helps in that is because it allows you permission to have the guilt. It's a funny thing, we've talked about a couple weeks ago how rest is a productive act. Self-care too is a productive act, even though it seems like you're not doing anything. There's some exercises that I do where I use different apparatus, yoga blocks, yoga blankets. I use a bolster, which is a big cushion. And the whole goal when I'm doing these particular exercises is that my body doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't have to worry about tensing up. It doesn't have to worry about holding myself a certain way. And when I do this restorative stretching, the goal is to allow the nervous system to come down. So that's something that I cannot control my nervous system coming down, except when I'm tapping. And because my nervous system is going to react to those tapping points. So I think that when you think about having guilt around taking care of yourself, it comes down to what's on the other side of the guilt. I would challenge to say, is it really you giving yourself the guilt, or is it someone else?
Expand on that.
I know, scary one.
Whoa.
So what happens many times is that we think it's us, and it could actually be a toxic person in our life. And the toxic person may love you very much. Your toxic person could be an 8-year-old, who's overly demanding, and you do a lot of gentle parenting. You think that and look, I don't really believe in gentle parenting. I don't believe in beating up a kid either, but I don't believe in gentle parenting because I think that I'm the parent who lived the life. I'm gonna put a whole stake in the stand right here. I don't believe in gentle parenting. I believe in letting my children know that I'm the queen of this household, not you. Not just because I pay bills, but because I've got the life behind me. So what happens is sometimes it's the children. They know how to turn the buttons because they watch TV and they look on all over social media. And it's like they're the puppet masters sometimes. It could be your 8 or 10-year-old that's giving you the guilt. It could be your 15-year-old. It could be your college student. I can't believe you did. The day that I listen to a child, I can't believe. You can't believe. You have a problem then. You have a belief problem. Let me give you my workbook. Okay. Believe it. Believe it. Okay. And so I think that when you're able to admit, I feel guilt, I feel like frightened, I feel like I'm not enough because I'm not doing these things. And if I now know that there's this list of things and now I'm going to go take care, I'm going to go sit quietly and do nothing but put my headphones on, close my eyes, listen to the ocean for a little while, and just tap. I feel guilty about that because there's things I'm supposed to be doing. What if by doing those things, you were much better?
Because then you're able to come back and give more because you're not completely depleted. You're actually filled up your cup enough to give them the best version of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so one question is, what's one guilt-ridden thought that you like to release in 2025? What's one guilt-ridden activity that you'd like to release in 2025? And if you didn't have that angst about doing this thing, whatever that thing is, how would your life look differently? And I'm going to give you an example. So I had a client who, and this is years ago, I had a client who had an issue with drinking in bed. Just she drank in bed. She's not an alcoholic or anything, but she liked to take these large goblets to bed of alcohol, and she was putting on weight. And so I wasn't coaching her around her weight. I was coaching her around working, being the best mom she could be. Mm-hmm. But yet she was gaining weight and she was very stressed over it. And she's like, I don't understand. So we went through the whole thing. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's happening? Because I know she ate so well. She exercised like crazy. I'm like, what's happening? This is a meal prep type chick, little carrot sticks and stuff. I'm like, okay, what's happening? So we boiled down her whole day and we got to, this drinking goblets of wine every night in the bed of all things. I don't believe in drinking in bed. That's me. I don't like that. I do not believe in drinking in the bed, right? So I didn't put that on her, but I wanted to understand why. And what happened was there was not one moment in her day where she felt cared for, where she felt held. She has a great husband, but he had the way his schedule was. Those few minutes before she went to sleep with her goblet of wine was the only time that she was allowing herself a bit of joy. It was the only time that was self-care for her. But
Wow.
unfortunately, it was so late in the evening. She's going to bed on all this wine. And of course, with a little bit of wine, she would eat something salty. And so she was gaining weight after being so healthy. So we scaled that back, not so that she wouldn't drink anymore, not so that she wouldn't gain weight, so that she would get the self-care that she needed. Do you know she stopped the drinking in bed? Her stress went way down once we found ways, little pockets of time throughout her day to give herself what she needed. So when it was bedtime, she just went straight upstairs and went to bed, and boom, it was amazing.
That is crazy.
But you had to peel back the layers
Exactly.
before we could figure out what it was. That's one of the things that coaching does, is
Mm.
that sometimes, I'm not saying no one's not smart enough. Everyone's smart enough. Every woman that I know is smart enough to figure these things out. Unfortunately, we don't give ourselves the time.
Mm.
And so that's what you and I are here for. That's what we're here for. We'll help you to figure out what onion you got under there, right? So we help you peel all that.
Hmm. It takes time to figure those things out, though.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's not a surface thing.
No.
There was nothing wrong with it, but it's like, why? Why is this
Yeah.
happening? And once you're able to get to the root of that, is when things actually started changing for you.
So I would love, in the comments, you can come in and you can let us know, like, what is that thing? What do you need? What do you need? What do you know you need?
Mm.
And I mean, I'm going to ask you, Morgan, like, what's one thing you want to try and do in 2025 that you have been kind of not getting, and I will say not doing at all, but not doing regularly? I know you weren't ready for that question.
I'm not. I'm looking around my room like, oh,
Now your dog's looking around.
it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Painting my nails more regularly.
Yep. Show me your nails right now. Don't they look cute?
They're purple. I love purple.
Yeah.
But no, so it's something interesting because we always had fingernail Friday for the girls because when they come home from school, like that was my time to interact with the girls. But I realized over the last couple of months that like I've been neglecting that one thing with my daughter. So that means I haven't been spending as much time with her, right? Which is also impacting things. Just painting our nails, right? And then when I look down at my hands, then I feel yucky and I feel dirty. Then psychologically, it does something to me. So just taking time to paint my nails.
Okay. So I absolutely love that. That's a great thing for mommy time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure that you have one for you, though, right?
Mm.
So all of us mommies need the time with our daughters. I mean, and our sons, but I think it's really important that we give mommy time where they can talk to us. And we're going to be talking more about that in weeks to come. I'm not going to put you on the spot again, but I want you to think. Oh, you thought of it already. Now you're raising your hand.
Excited. Like I do so much reading all the time. Like I'm constantly like listening to stuff, like audiobooks all the time. But I think I would like to I am going to commit to reading more fun stuff, like something that's entertaining because everything I always do is learning, which I love. But
It's a little too, yeah, you got to give yourself a break.
Like give myself something entertaining because I love being read to.
So I love that. Let me tell you something. That was mine for last year.
Really?
So I don't know if you're listening to us and I think it's everywhere in the U.S. I'm definitely a library girl. I used to buy every single book that I ever wanted, and it's such a waste because I ended up giving them away because, I downloaded Libby from my library. You can I use Libby from the library, and I just wait for my books to come up. And I started that in December of last year, December of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my first book, which was Becoming, Michelle Obama's book. And it was 18 hours. And I promise you, she's reading the book. It was amazing. It was so, so good. And then I realized, and then I did Alicia Keys' book. If you haven't ever listened to Alicia Keys' book, I'm a big fan, okay? Maybe we can get her on the pod. I would probably plots, but this is a midlife mom that you want to talk to, right? That has been so good for me. And it's free. It's free. Like sometimes you have to wait for your books, but it's free. So I definitely advocate that as an act of self-care. So if you've never thought about, like, it's not, sometimes again, we think of these surface things and it's not that. It could be totally different things. How can you take care of yourself? For me this year, a huge one for me is getting massages. Now that may sound like, but isn't that surface Chatone? No, it's not, because for me, I don't take the time. I don't want to spend the money. I have my money's going different places. I I don't necessarily feel like, should I take that out of the family budget? I don't necessarily want to do that, but I've already committed that this year I'm absolutely getting, at the very minimum, one massage a month. And I mean, when at the minimum, I'm really thinking about every 2 weeks, but that is that I'm budgeting for that. It's really, really critical because after my car accident and everything, my body needs that, but I also need it for my mind because I completely shut down. And the sleep that I get on a massage table, I get up, I feel like I've slept for 5 hours. So for me, it is an actual act of self-care. It is a huge thing. That's a day where I'll go to my gym. I'll do my massage and everything, go to my gym, sit in the jacuzzi and get in the sauna, like do all those things. And none of it costs me any money because we already belong to these things anyway. And so, but the massage is a big one. So that's a commitment that I'm making, that absolutely I'm going to take care of myself in that way because I haven't done it. I haven't committed to doing that in the past. And there is guilt around it, and so I'm like, why? Especially I live with a dude who, this brother cannot go past a mall. I look at him and he's in some massage chair over somebody. They're always like, you too tall. You need to pay extra $15. Your back is big. Like he's just like, no matter what. I'm like, bro, where are you? He's like, oh, I was getting like a 15-minute massage. I'll meet you, at Macy's. Men have no problem taking care of themselves, but we do. So let's release the guilt around it. Let's make it happen. Put in the comments the thing you're going to do. And we're going to go jump into getting some tapping done right now. Now, when it comes to tapping, if this is your first time tapping with us, understand we're talking about emotional freedom technique. It's basically an emotional type of acupressure where you're able to do this. No needles required. It's not painful at all. And Morgan's going to lead us in the tapping today. One of the things that we usually do if you're working with us in one of our tapping circles or one-on-one is that we would have you kind of rate your feelings, right? Basically, it's called, I won't even get into all the techniques. Let's just say that we want to know where your distress is at. So today we're specifically talking about how are you feeling about taking care of yourself, about making space to take care of you. How are you feeling in terms of guilt as a mom, like as a woman with all the things you have in your schedule? Are you feeling like, ooh, even just talking about taking time like that, is it hitting you in your heart? Is it hitting you in your stomach? And think on a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable is it? Now, I am the princess of positivity. I think I told you guys that. But it's important when it comes to tapping that you tune into the negative so that we can release it. Okay, so it's going to feel a little funny, but for a second, give yourself a moment. How do I feel about that? I would say, Morgan, for me, I'm probably about a 5 right now, 5 to 6, which is pretty high for me when it comes to this, but simply because even right now, and this, we were trying to get our taping done. We were trying to do everything. And I was like, I didn't cook yet. I have to do this. I have to do that for my husband. And I was so I often feel a little bit of guilt about how much time I spend on things outside of being a wife because I have a lot of stuff going on, right? So I would say I was at a 5 or 6. So for those of you who are going to tap with us, think about when you're thinking about this topic, or if you have something else you want to tap on, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, where are you? Like, is it 5 or 6? Like, how negative are you feeling about this? And we're going to see if we can get that number lower for you while we're doing our tapping.
And where were you feeling that today? Where in your body were you?
Yeah, for me, it's like kind of midsection. Now, I don't know if that might also be because I'm a little hungry, but it's kind of like feels like that. Although I will say that a lot of times when I have stress, I won't know if it's stress, which is why, I've had issues with emotional eating, if I'm really stressed or if I'm hungry. It's a really queer thing where I will feel like I'm starving. This has been for years, and we'll talk about this another day as well. And then when I just go do the thing I'm supposed to do, it goes away. Literally goes away.
Meaning amazing. Your body can figure that out quickly. Yeah.
It's wild. Where I won't be hungry, I will be fine. I'm like, oh, okay. So, I would say that, yeah, it's kind of right here.
Okay. Awesome. Well, let's focus on that.
All right, let's do this. We're going to do this emotional freedom tap and transformation. Morgan is going to lead us, and I'm thrilled about it.
All right, love. Okay, so if you haven't taken off your shoes, go ahead and take off your shoes. Put your feet out on the ground, and we're going to start with some breathing, okay? All right. So I want to get all propped up. Okay, so we're going to take 3 deep breaths in and then 3 out. We're going to act like we're whistling when we're blowing out. Okay, so when we're breathing in really deeply. All right, so you ready?
Ready.
All right, Debbie. Okay, breathe in and out and in and out and in and out. We're going to go ahead and open our eyes. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off at the top of our head and we're going to start tapping there. So repeat after me. I feel so overwhelmed by all the responsibilities on my plate.
I feel so overwhelmed by all the responsibilities on my plate.
The eyebrow point. I feel guilt when I'm thinking about taking time for myself.
I feel guilt when I think about taking time for myself. Here we go.
It's hard to optimize my needs when so many others depend on me.
It's so hard to prioritize my needs when so many other people depend on me.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Under the eye, this guilt feels heavy, like I'm letting people down.
This guilt feels heavy, like I'm letting people down.
Under the nose, but I know deep down I need time for myself too.
But I know deep down I need time for myself too.
Chin. It's scary to think about saying no or stepping back.
It's scary to think about saying no or stepping back.
Mm-hmm. Collarbone. But I'm starting to see that my needs do matter too.
But I'm starting to see that my needs matter too.
Mm-hmm. Under the arm, I give myself permission to feel this guilt. And is that what that said? I give myself permission to feel this guilt and begin to release it. Whoa, okay, that one was.
I give myself permission to feel this guilt and begin to release it. That's important, right?
Okay, let's go to the top of the head. I'm open to creating balance in my life.
I'm open to creating balance in my life.
Eyebrow. It's okay to take time for myself. I deserve it.
It's okay to take time for myself. I deserve it.
Yes, ma'am. Side of eye. Taking care of myself helps me take care of others.
Taking care of myself helps me take care of others.
Under the eye. I can make space for my needs without guilt.
I can make space for my needs without guilt.
Under the nose. I'm allowed to rest, recharge, and renew my energy.
I'm allowed to rest, recharge, and renew my energy.
My chin. By making myself a priority, I show up with more love and energy.
By making myself a priority, I show up with more love and energy.
Very good. Collarbone. I trust myself to create balance in a way that works for me.
I trust myself to create balance in a way that works for me.
Under the arm. I'm open to letting go of what no longer serves me.
I'm open to letting go of what no longer serves me. All right, so I think we should do a round of affirmations, right? Let's seal this all in. So, Morgan, you know, it's powerful, right? Like, I write this stuff, you do this stuff, but like, it's powerful. We should not break in between, but whoa, okay.
Whoa. That was a lot.
I know. All right, so
breathe.
One of the things we like to do, if you're working with us, is once we do that, and sometimes, I mean, we wouldn't be busting out laughing, but sometimes that the release is the laughter. The release is it could be anything, and sometimes the release literally is crying. Sometimes it's you get chill bumps. Sometimes you get hot, and sometimes you laugh, right? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to try and seal some of this in, permission to transform with a round of affirmations. So go ahead, Morgan.
Beautifully put. We're going to start at the top of our head again, okay? I honor how much I accomplish, and I honor my need for rest.
I honor how much I accomplish, and I honor my need for rest.
Eyebrow. I am worthy of balance and self-care.
I am worthy of balance and self-care.
Side of I. It's safe for me to take time for myself.
It's safe for me to take time for myself.
Under the I. I am open to trusting myself to create the space I need.
I am open to trusting myself to create the space I need.
Under the nose. Caring for myself is a gift to me and those I love.
Caring for myself is a gift for me and those I love.
Under the chin. Or chin, sorry. I am open to living with more ease and joy in 2025.
I am open to living with more ease and joy in 2025.
Collarbone. I deserve peace, balance, and self-care every day.
I deserve peace, balance, and self-care every day.
Yes, ma'am. Under your arm, I give myself permission to create life where I come first some of the time.
I give myself permission to create a life where I come first some of the time.
Top of the head, I'm willing to move forward with grace, balance, and self-compassion.
I am willing to move forward with grace, balance, and self-compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure we gotta do that right. Another deep breath in and out. So, you know what's interesting with tapping? I mean, I wrote this, but when I wrote it for the audience, but when I'm doing it for myself. And that's how powerful EFT is. It doesn't even matter if you're doing it for yourself or someone else. There's borrowing benefits that you get, which are so important. So that even if you're like, I don't have an issue with guilt around this, I don't have an issue about putting myself first, you will find that when you tap along, your body will release things, especially when you're willing to tap into the negative of what is going on so you can release it. I definitely feel less in my gut. I definitely feel less. That's crazy. I mean, I do. I feel less. I would say I'm probably like at a 3, maybe a 2 or 3 right now. But I'm also feeling invigorated to go do something for myself. So that's awesome, right? I put our information up here at tappingandgettingtheafter.com because you probably want to chat with us a little bit. You probably like, I need to talk to you guys. Send us an email. We'll definitely get back to you. You may get me or her. It depends. I would say in another couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a whole new group of tapping circles, and so you'll be able to get our link. We're going to have that up very, very shortly. We've been doing everything very private up until this time, but we're excited to be able to do it publicly in the next couple of weeks, so look for that. And also, don't forget, you have the opportunity, especially at the start of the year. It's a clean slate. Like, what is it that you know you need so that you can, and again, I don't like to say have your best year ever, because we don't know what the year's going to bring. And that could be a tall order, best year ever, right? But can you take care of yourself better than you did last year? Whatever your circumstances, right, Morgan? I mean, can you do that? The answer is yes. Nod with me. The answer is yes. Don't say, I don't know. Yes, you can. It's possible, regardless of the circumstances.
Well, and I just want to say to everybody out there, like, I know you're going to thrive in 2025. Like,
Did you just try and tell a rhyme?
Oh, I did. I wasn't even trying. And I mean it with all my heart, though. This is going to be a great year for all of us. And we welcome you to be a part of this journey with us, too. We can't wait, man.
Yeah, we're excited. So thanks for tuning in. We know that you could be anywhere. You could watch any podcast. You could hang out with anybody, but we love the fact that you're hanging out with us. I am Chatone Morrison, the Princess of Positivity. I do believe that you can release your negativity so your positivity can reign in your brain, your business, your big and beautiful life. This is Getting the After. You can just keep tapping. Tap with us, and let's get to after together.
Sounds great. See you there.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, babe. Mwah. Bye, everybody.